I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at 6 months old due to failure to thrive. My mom wasn't very maternal. She smoked in the house. She quit doing my chest PT, which was something that really I should have had for my health purposes. I was sent home from high school on several occasions from the nurse saying, "You have to go see a doctor and get antibiotics." In college, I had lost over 20 pounds from coughing so hard and getting sick. I was not doing well, and that's when my mom really blamed me and said that it was my fault. Just kind of the darkness of my situation was pretty well played out on my face and just the way I was feeling. And my dad asked me if I would move in with him and his wife, Martha. And that was just like a huge crushing moment for me. Not only because I couldn't take care of myself anymore, but just the fact that this person in my life, a dad that I didn't grow up with, didn't know extremely well, was offering to take care of me, to give me a place to live, to help me, and was asking nothing in return.
At 16 months, I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. It was a big deal for my parents. They didn't know what to do, but they followed the doctor's lead, and knowing everything they know about CF, and the fact that they were told whenever I was diagnosed that I probably wouldn't live to be 18 years old. So with that, they let me live my life the best I can. Not 10 days before my transplant, I had a birthday, and I couldn't blow out my candles right in front of me. I only had one candle. I was a mentor with the lung transplant program to speak with other transplant patients, and I got a call in March, actually it was probably email, about somebody I needed to speak to that was also an accountant, independent, want to know what it was like to live on their own afterwards, insurance, things like that. And that's whenever I first called Carrie.
I remember him just very point blank asking me, you may not get this transplant and you could die. What do you believe is going to happen when you die? Where do you think you're going to go? He was explaining how when somebody grows up without the godly father figure, the type of father figure that God is to us, if we know God, that it's harder for people to know who God is and to understand the story of Christ, God sending Jesus to die for us on the cross. And he loves us the way he does, that he would want to take care of us the way that he did by sending Christ to die on the cross for us. Because I saw that example from my dad taking care of me, and it just all made sense to me. One night, I had been home from the hospital maybe 3 or 4 days, was just kind of getting back into the groove of things, and the phone rang. It was about 9:45, I think, on a Saturday night, and Gary had come over to lift my spirits because I couldn't go out to this hayride bonfire that I always like to go to. And phone rang, and I picked it up just thinking that it was probably my parents calling, and it ended up that it was the call that there was potential donor lungs available for me, and I needed to get down to Barnes as soon as I could.
I guess given our diagnosis with transplant, we know we're not going to grow old together. We've talked about that, what that looks like, and we try to live our life, understanding that each day is precious, trying to cherish the time that we have together and to live in the moment almost. It's not easy all the time, but we do take advantage of those times just to be together. But with that, I think we recognize that we don't have a fear of dying. We've been there. We've seen what that looks like. And while we don't want to die, because we love each other and want to spend our lives together, I think we know that in the end that it's all about being with Jesus. So what life really matters, what really matters is your relationship with Christ, your relationship with your family and your friends. Everything else doesn't matter.